Travis here with Upgraded RC. In this video, I'm going to show you how to repair some of that nasty body damage you're getting on your Lexan cover. In this case, I was doing some really nice cartwheels yesterday, but it didn't do much for my body. It kind of sounds like the D string of my bass guitar now. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and fix that. I'm going to show you how. Okay, so let's start with taking our cover off here. Get a better look at our damage here so we can assess the situation and how we're going to repair it. So what we got here on our REVO 2.0 body is we got some nastiness right here going on. That's not supposed to be like that. And this is common on the REVOs. They crack on the corners because I don't know if you've ever seen this before, but underneath there's a full-blown pretty much roll cage. And they did this so that you could use this lever here to attach it to your frame. It's a lot easier than all the cotter pins. I really like it myself. I think it's great. I've abused the hell out of this thing. It's not this thing's fault. But what we're going to do today is we're going to go ahead and we're going to take some aluminum pieces like this. This is 16th inch aluminum, and I'm working with 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, and 1 inch pieces that I'm going to cut out and try to shape the best I can and put underneath the mounts here for this roll cage, so to speak, so that it can give it a little bit of reinforcement on the back. And what we'll do is we'll drill holes and we'll rivet it in with these pop rivets. And then I'm going to take some of this Gorilla Tape here. It's clear and it's really thick and heavy duty. It's waterproof, it's flexible. I don't really care a whole bunch about it staying on there. We're going to put it on there so that once that's on the outside, I'm going to take some of the Gorilla Glue epoxy, this clear here, and I'm going to put this in all the cracks and fill it. It says here it's a structural filler. That's perfect. That's exactly what I'm looking for. I'm hoping the tape on the outside holds it in and I can put it in the cracks to fill it in after I've riveted my little pieces that I'm going to make in out of 1/8 inch aluminum with rivets. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and weigh our Lexan body and see what it weighs before the upgrades with the aluminum, so we know. So it looks like our body weighs 302 grams. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take a marker and I'm going to trace around all these mounts here that I'm removing so I know where they're at. And that way I can figure out how long I want to make my aluminum pieces. Then I'm going to go ahead and remove my 2.5 millimeter Allens. I have 2 underneath here, and on the other side I've got 4 here. We're going to go ahead and take all those out. Once you've taken your 6 2.5 millimeter Allens out, you can gently take this piece out here. Try not to rip any more of the Lexan than you already have. Okay, so we got our piece out here, and we flip it over. Now you can see the marks that we made here with our markers. Then we're going to clean it up a little bit. I'm going to start by pulling off this Lexan tape here from Tamiya. This is very expensive. I think it's like $8 for 3 feet of it or something. It doesn't work very good at all. Well, it works great actually until you hit the dirt gets it, then it's no good no more. Okay, so now you can really see some of the extent of our damage here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this area up really good, and then I measured out in between our marks here how long of length for the aluminum piece to make, and I made a piece here. I don't know if you can see how you can see that there. That fits right up there in the marks that I made. And what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to take and notch this piece right here where that notch is. I'm going to have to notch it out here, and then I'll drill the holes in this piece to the same size as this, so it slips right over there and fits snug like it's part of the body. I'm just going to use some of some Rain-X here and a rag. Clean this up. try to get all that dirt out of there, you know, best you can. And we want to make sure we've got a clean surface that we're applying our epoxy back to. So now I'm just going to go ahead and put my body here over this heater I got in my garage and try to heat the Lexan up a little bit to where it feels more flexible and I can get my aluminum in there. I'm not trying to melt it by any means, don't get me wrong. I just want to make it a little bit more flexible. And you can do this with a blow dryer as well. You don't even really need to do this. This is based on how bad your damage is. This one's pretty substantial and it got smashed really bad. So I'm just trying to unsmash it, pop it back out before I put my aluminum piece in there. This is also a great way to dry it too, after cleaning it with our Rain-X. For stock today, I went by Home Depot and picked up some 1/16 inch thick aluminum strips here. You could probably get them just about anywhere and they're relatively cheap. I believe I paid between $2 and $5 for a 3-foot strip. So I went ahead and picked up 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, 1 inch, and then a 3/4 by 3/4 piece of angle iron and a 1/2 inch by 3/4 piece of angle iron. That way I could figure out what I needed to try to conform this rear end here back again the way it's supposed to be. I wasn't sure what I was going to have to use. So I'm just going to go ahead and measure out my pieces, and then I'm going to use a hacksaw with a thin metal blade. That way I get a nice accurate cut on my piece, and after I'm done, I'll take a file and file down the corners so there's no sharp edges. That way the next time I roll this vehicle, the sharp edges that are not here will not poke through my Lexan. I also got a jigsaw here. This way I can take and cut any notch out that I need to so that I've got these pieces conforming to the body as close as I can get it. And we're going to drill some holes and pop rivet it in. Want our piece to sit flat with no sharp edges. So once I get done making all the pieces and I've fitted them up to make sure that they fit where I want to fit them, then I'm going to go ahead and paint them. So we get our pieces painted and they're drying. I'm going to go ahead and let this dry until tomorrow morning, and then we'll come back and install them in, bolt it all up, pop rivet everything in, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do with the tape and the epoxy. Okay, so here are our pieces painted and dried. And we're going to go ahead and put them underneath our body mount here and get it nice and snug. So what I'm going to do first here is I'm going to go ahead and put this in here first before we put our pieces in here very gently. Get that into place there where it wants to be. Okay, now we'll take the pieces that we made here and slide underneath the mounts. Kind of nice having a marker there because we can see when it's lined up now. Put this piece underneath here. Alright, let's bolt it up. I'm going to go ahead and install these beveled washers here. Now you can see that they got a good bevel on one side of them. That's to sink down into that hole that's so worn out right here. So we're going to take that, and then we're going to take our 1/8 inch stainless steel washer, and we're just putting our Allen through there and popping our beveled washer in there. And then go ahead and get it tight. Get it nice and centered and get it tight the way you like it. Well, let's make sure there's no problems here. Everything seems to work pretty good. Let's try it on the car. Make sure it fits on here good. There's no issues. Nice. Nice and tight. Okay. I'd say that's good. I don't know if you guys can tell or not, but my rear end here is already starting to take shape just by putting these brackets in underneath our rear mount. Make it so much stronger, a little bit more rigid. Look at that. There's almost no problem there at all now. Now it's time for our next phase. We're going to go ahead and install the angle iron with our rivets. Alright, so we got our rivets done here. You can see where we put our rivets in here, and we put them across the top too. Here's what the underneath looks like. Okay, I think that's going to make it quite a bit more rigid. Now I know I told you guys that we were going to go ahead and use some Gorilla Tape, and what I was going to do is I was going to put this on the outside here to try to cover up the cracks before we use our epoxy. I've changed my mind. I'm not going to use the Gorilla Tape. I've used it in the past and it seems to come off, dirt sticks to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and put some Scotch tape over these parts here where all the cracks are that I'm going to try to fill in with the epoxy down below so the epoxy can't leak. Okay, so we went ahead and put our Scotch tape on here everywhere where there was a crack. And remember, it's not staying, it's just there to keep the epoxy from running out. I also went ahead and did a couple spots on the front where it was cracking, so I'm going to fill those in as well. Now we've got our Gorilla clear epoxy here, and this is the box that it came in. This piece right here on the top is a mixing tray. So we're going to go ahead and mix up some epoxy here. It tells you to squirt it in evenly and mix it up for 20 seconds. Okay guys, so we got our epoxy mixed up in our little mixing tray here, and you're going to want to have some rags around when you do this. I've already had to clean up a little bit. You want to use a screwdriver or something that you don't care about. You can clean it off afterwards, and you may not get it off. You may. We're going to go ahead and do this anyway here. Use what we got. We're going to take a decent amount here, but not to make a mess, and just start putting it where we want it to be. I'm going to try to keep it off the plastic pieces in case I want to take them back off and use it on another body, but I've already made the decision that if this doesn't work, I'm just going to get another body. I'm putting it in pretty thick and heavy around these corners here where I know it's going to break. You guys are going to need to work fast. This stuff sets up in about 5 minutes. Then it takes 30 minutes to cure after that. But you can see I just kind of packed it in around everywhere where I could. Everywhere there was cracks. I got my 3 spots on the front here. And now we're going to wait a little while and let it set up. And then I'll pull the tape back off before it completely cures. By the way, you can wipe your screwdriver off right when you get done, and it seems like it's going to be okay. It didn't stick to it. Alright, so we got our epoxy done. Looks like it's setting up pretty well. It's almost dry. Same thing on the front here. Go ahead and turn this over. And I had a couple of these here laying around, these beveled washers, so I went ahead and spray painted them prior to this, and I went ahead and installed them on here. I think it looks better than the gold. So we did that. And I didn't have any problems with the front hood, but I decided to go ahead and put some stainless steel 6mm washers on there anyway, just so that it would maybe keep it from cracking. Other than that, I'm just going to go ahead and color these rivets in here with the magic marker because I don't like the color of that either. And we'll call it good. Alright, well that's it guys. I think it looks pretty good. Came out really good. All the deformity that was back here by the rear wing is almost completely gone, so that worked out good. I know it's going to be a lot stronger with the epoxy in there and the brackets that we made for underneath our mount. It may not look the best or be new, but you know what? This body right here is going to give us plenty more bashing days out there in the desert having plenty of fun. Okay, so let's see what it weighs after our modification here. Looks like that number is 351.5, and our original number before the modification was 302, so there's basically 50 grams difference there. We're at 50, we're less than 1/8 of a pound. That's not very much at all for what we did here. So I'm pretty happy with that. We should have no problem at all handling that extra weight. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it. Now you guys know how to get a little bit more life out of your body. And with that note, I'm ready to go play. I'm Travis with Upgraded RC. Peace out.